So I have the basic wax on the car. Car only has 30 miles on it. Let me show you how the factory wax works. The water really falls off. That's how wax is. It eventually falls off. Ceramic coating is a little bit different. It wouldn't leave really any water on the paint. And I'm gonna do a little cold start. I have the GoPro set up for polishing. It's not really gonna be cold since the heater's here. Well, let's see what it does. Like I said, the car only has 30 miles on it. It's got the windows tinted.
Hey everyone, I'll be working on this Charger Scat Pack. What we're going to do today is we're going to get a nice wash on it, we're going to polish it, and then we're going to get some ceramic coating on it. Today we're going to use all Jax products, very, very excellent products. I'll briefly go through the steps, won't go into too much detail, but I'm going to go ahead and start out with the wash. I'm going to clean the wheels, the wheel wells, and all the paint, make sure that it's nice and smooth and ready to be polished. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and yeah. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the foam gun from Jax Wax, and I'm actually using their let's see, Canon soap. So yeah. But first, we'll get some wheel cleaner on the wheels. This is also Jax Wax product. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this on the wheel, let it sit. I'm going to go ahead and foam the gun, let this do its job, and then we'll go ahead and spray it off. You'll notice also I have a third bucket. The third bucket is for the wheels only. It has many brushes in it, things that will get inside the wheel, things that I can use for the tire. That is separate soap and separate water for the wheel and tire. You don't want to use that water or have that water anywhere near the paint itself. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start spraying the wheels, then we'll go ahead and foam the car, and we'll go from there. So while the foam is sitting on there, I will go ahead and go back to the wheels. I'm going to agitate the brake dust a little bit, get into the wheel wells. That'll allow the soap that's on the car from the foam gun to do its job a little bit before I go ahead and wash it off. After that, I'll go ahead and go to the buckets to make sure to get the car very clean. So the wheels are cleaned, the wheel wells are clean, the car is foamed, the soap has been sitting for a few minutes, so we're going to go ahead and rinse the car off, and then I'm going to go to the 2 bucket to make sure that it's extra clean. Alright, so the wheels are cleaned, the wheel wells are clean, the car is foamed, the soap has been sitting for a few minutes, so we're going to go ahead and rinse the car off, and then I'm going to go to the 2 bucket to make sure that it's extra clean. When you're using a wash mitt, or when you're washing the car, you don't have to put a lot of pressure. We're not trying to grind anything into the paint. Use very light pressure, and try to not too aggressively go back and forth, back and forth. That's only taking any dirt that you're picking up and dragging it across the surface. What I like to do is I like to take the mitt and I like to go one way and then bring it back the other, and then bring it back the other way, and then go ahead and rinse off the mitt. That's gonna really avoid any swirls, any extra scratches, things of that sort. So just keep in mind that when you're washing the car, be gentle. You don't have to go too aggressive. You'll get the car clean, and you'll prevent having to take the extra step over and over and over again to polish the car and wax it and things of that sort. So yeah. Now, when I do put the mitt into the bucket of clean water, I do drag the mitt across the grit guard. That'll help take off the dirt. When you take the mitt out of the bucket, you want to wring it out outside of the bucket. Again, that'll just help prevent extra dirt in both of the buckets. Alright, now that the car is rinsed off once more, we're going to go ahead and clay the bar. Now there are several ways of claying the bar. They all include clay, but one way is this towel that has clay bar across the surface of it. I prefer this method mostly just because I use the soap that I used for the wash to do this, and that'll kind of add a slick surface, a smooth surface, soap just to kind of help it move along the car. There's also the more traditional way that everybody knows. It's this small clay piece where you use a lubricant such as a detail spray, and you go ahead and spray the car. You rub the clay bar across it and it picks up contaminants, and you play around with the clay bar, make sure you have a clean side for every panel. Again, I use this one mostly because the car's already wet. I have the soap ready. It's available, so it's kind of a more efficient way. You still want to use the same method in terms of making sure that the clay bar is clean for each panel. But the way you do it with this kind of clay bar is you use the same 2 bucket method. You dip the clay bar in the soap, you do a panel, and then you come back to the water, rub the clay bar on the bottom of the grit guard, make sure all the dirt's off, and then you move to the next panel. So I'm going to go ahead and use this just so you guys can see. And again, we're not trying to, you don't have to put a lot of pressure. We're not trying to rub anything into the paint, we're trying to lift it off the paint. So again, light pressure, it'll do its job, it'll make sure the paint's smooth. This paint is in very good condition already, so I'm not too worried about too much contaminants on there. But we're still going to do it just to make sure it's 100% smooth. We're done sheeting the car. You'll notice that there's a lot less water on the car, so I don't have to go and spend too much time drying it with a towel. Again, reducing scratches and swirls. That's the biggest thing, and I'm going to drill in your head. Reduce scratches and swirls, and you do that by taking extra caution in each step, making sure the car is well lubricated when you're washing it. Don't go from bottom to top. Use the 2 bucket method, use a foam gun, get all that extra dirt off, You don't want to drag anything across the paint. So you can see just how much less water there is across the paint. So I'm going to go ahead and use this waffle weave, and I'm also going to use a detail spray. The detail spray, again, is to lubricate the towel so that it's not, it's easier to drag across the paint, so you're not, again, causing extra swirls and stretches. All right. Just an overview on what you saw during the video. I just wanted to go through in brief terms on what I did. I started out using Jack's wheel cleaner. I went ahead and sprayed the wheels down. You want to let this sit for a little bit. So what I do is I spray the wheels down, and while it's sitting, I go ahead and use a foam gun. I used Jack's foam gun, or foam cannon, with their foam cannon soap. And the reason I use this is I always use this when I wash the car first, and that's to get the surface dust off the car. You want to prevent extra rubbing of any contaminants when you actually do the traditional wash. So I use this, I let it sit on the car. While I let it sit on the car, I went ahead and used some tools, some brushes to go ahead and clean the wheels out, clean the wheel well, using Jack's soap again, in combination with the wheel cleaner. Then I went ahead and sprayed the car down, rinsed it off, got all the dirt off, and then I went ahead and went the more traditional route with the wash to get it even cleaner, to get more contaminants off, and that's the 2-bucket method. I filled 1 bucket with soap, 1 with regular water, and I used 2 mitts. And the reason I use 2 mitts is because I actually break the car down into 2 sections, the top section and the bottom. The bottom tends to get a lot more dirtier, so you don't want to use the same mitt and bring those contaminants up the car, bringing more risk of scratching it and swirls and things of that sort. So I started from top down, so I used the purple mitt. It doesn't matter which one, but I used the purple mitt for the top. I went ahead and washed the car. After every panel, I went back, dipped it into the bucket with regular water. I put the mitt down to the grip guard so that all the contaminants fall below that and don't get picked up in the water or back into the mitt. And then I went ahead and washed the bottom of the car, same way. And then I rinsed it. After I rinsed it, now the next step was clay barring. Now there's 2 ways of clay barring. There's the more traditional way, which is your regular clay bar. You use a lubricant such as a detail spray, or you can use the soap. It works just as well. But there was this clay bar towel, which I used. I find it to be a lot more efficient. So what I did, and it works just as well as the regular clay bar, what I did is I just used the same technique as I used when I did the 2-bucket wash. I dipped this in the soap, I went panel by panel, going back and forth between the soap and the bucket with the regular water to, again, get the dirt off the clay bar that it picks up from the surface of the car, reducing extra scratches and swirls. You want the car to constantly be lubricated with some sort of soap or detail spray. That's just to prevent scratching the car. After the clay bar, I went ahead and dried the car. And the way that I dry the car is I actually dry it using water. You'll see in the video that I took the nozzle off the hose and I sheeted the water off the car. You'll see it go from having lots of droplets to basically nothing. And that really helps all that extra rubbing you might have to do with a towel. You'll see that I used a waffle weave. And even though I used a waffle weave, you'll see that I was carrying a bottle of detail spray. And the reason again is because you want the surface to be lubricated. You don't want to be dragging on a dry surface. That'll cause way more swirls and way more scratches and extra headache for you. After I dried the car, I went ahead and taped off everything that is either matte or satin or a rubber seal or things of that sort. That's just prepping it for the polish stage. You don't want polish touching anything that's not glossy or shiny or any of the rubber seals. It'll actually break it down over time. So I went ahead and take that all off to get it all ready. And then I examined the car. I took a light, I looked at the paint across the car just to see what polishes and pads that I might need to use. Now this car's paint is in excellent condition, very light swirls. We didn't add any to the car, nothing heavy, nothing deep, just because all the precautions that we took during the process of keeping the car lubricated, make sure all the dirt and dust get removed safely. So I'm actually going to go on to the next step, and I will be using Jack's Perfect Polish. It's a light compound, light polish, and I'll be using the orange pad on a Rupees. The reason I'm using an orange pad because it does give a little bit of cut. It's light to medium. That'll kind of help get some of the very few deeper swirls off, but also maintain a really good polish throughout the rest of the car, which has light swirls. You don't want to be aggressive with your paint, so always try to use the least aggressive pad and the least aggressive compound or polish. If you're not sure what to use or how to use it, things of that sort, definitely use a test spot on your car, but start from least aggressive to most aggressive until you get the results you want. I already tested the car with this polish and this pad, and I found that it worked excellent. It got all the swirls, it got the results that I wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. And you're going to see that I'm going to break down each panel into sections. You don't want to work in large areas. You want to work in pretty decently small to medium areas. So when I work on the hood, you'll see that I break it down into 3 sections, or the door, I'll break it down into a few sections. That's all up to you. Just definitely don't overwork the compound or go too large of an area. It tends to kind of ruin the results that you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the car is now done being polished. So what we're going to do next is using Jack's products again. We're going to go ahead and use their Shield Prep. Now Shield is their ceramic coating. This will help prep the surface for it, meaning it'll take off any polish that I might have missed, oily residue, things of that sort. You want the paint to be as clean as possible before you put the ceramic coating on. Now, the reason why you want it to be clean is because a ceramic coating is much different than your waxes and sealants. Waxes and sealants corrode over a very short period of time. Waxes usually within a month or so. A lot of the newer waxes kind of can extend that to 3 months. Sealants are 8 months, 6 to 8 months. A ceramic coating, though, on the other hand, is it's a new technology. It's a nano coating, so it makes it a very hard coating once it dries. That means that it's highly weather resistant. It repels dirt and dust to an extent, of course. It makes the car extremely easy to clean. It's almost scratch resistant. It basically is scratch resistant. It's a very hard coating. It's extremely glossy and shiny, more so than your waxes and sealants. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put 2 coatings on this car, mostly because it is driven in Michigan. Michigan has its harsh winters. It's road salts, it's dirt, snow, things of that sort. Then you get a lot of rain here. So we're gonna go ahead and put 2 coatings of this, which is gonna make it extremely durable. Now, these coatings are said to be semi-permanent, and that means that they do last for up to 2 years before they start to kind of degrade a little bit. And when they say semi-permanent, it almost means that weather and dirt won't break it down the same way as it does to wax and sealants. To get this off anytime between that 2-year period, you have to use a harder polish and pad, and you really got to work at it. That's to maybe fix a spot that you might have missed or things of that sort. But that's what they mean by semi-permanent. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and, like I said, we're going to prep the car with Shield Prep. Make sure that all the oils, waxes, any residue is off the car, and then we're going to go ahead and coat 2 coatings of the Jax Wax Shield ceramic coating. So I'm going to go ahead and get started now. Has been wiped down entirely. I'm going to go ahead and start applying the ceramic coating with this pad right here. You only need a few drops, you don't need very many. Once you feel the pad start grabbing, that's when you want to add more drops. So I'll go ahead and get started and show you how to do this.
Just got home from work after my buddy Reflect Detailing worked on the Scat. Man, on a great car, that's flawless. Let's see how the paint's doing. Man, it's no scratches. Now let's see how that Jax Wax ceramic coating is doing. Look at that. Just falls right off. Let's try that again. If I had anything to say, I'd say Jax Wax is pretty good on their ceramic coating, honestly. There's that much left. I say that, what is that? That's like only like an eighth of it used, maybe a sixth of it used. Did the whole car, coated it twice as well, and it had that good of protection. That should last 2 years, no problem. And I can just keep applying this. I got Jax ceramic coating on the Z06. Haven't done the Stingray yet. This thing is shining though, for sure. Only with this. You can buy this whole kit at jaxwax.com. Use the code SinisterZ07 for 15% off your purchase. Check them out for sure. Little cold start.